Hi, Jennifer. It's Connor.
Hello, Connor.
Hi.
I just sent the email off.
Okay, perfect. I will reload.
Oh.
Let's see. And Jennifer, you sent it to the Gmail one, right?
Oh, crap. No. Okay.
Okay. I was gonna say, I'm like, I don't see it.
I went into automatic pilot. Hang on. Now it was sent.
Okay.
Chamber of, it looks like I spelt it all right.
Perfect. I just got it.
Oh, good.
Okay, so it's on Vimeo, so that link should work, I think.
Yeah, that one came in last night. That's the most updated version. That's the final version. So maybe
Okay.
that will work. And if it doesn't, the other one was the one I sent originally.
Nope, that'll work. That'll be easy.
Good.
Okay, so we're good. Last minute, just how we like to do things, so. Okay, we're good to go then.
Oh, there's Tina. Hi, Tina.
You need to start the video too. Where?
Okay.
Hi, Jennifer.
Good morning, Ann.
We'll just wait a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I think Connor got you set up.
Yes, gosh.
Okay,
Bless him.
I'll be
God bless.
right back. Forgot something.
Is open to the world. In Helsinki, Finland. I met Alison in Abu Dhabi.
Here you are. Let's see, it's just about 11 o'clock. So we'll get started. Good morning, everyone. This is Ann Silver, CEO of the Reno Sparks Chamber of Commerce. Thrilled to welcome you all to our continuing Path Forward series and our expert presenters. This morning, we're thrilled to welcome Jennifer Cunningham, who is the interim CEO of the RSCVA. That's a big acronym, but I'm going to allow Jennifer to have some opening remarks and explain what RSCVA is all about. Jennifer, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ann. It's great to be here. RSCVA is the Reno Sparks Convention and Visitors Authority, and we are funded by the room tax dollars that are collected in the hotels and various lodging in Washoe County. And then our mission is to bring visitors and fill hotel rooms to collect more taxes and market the destination. So we do sales, bringing in conventions, groups, sports, volleyball tournaments, and we do marketing, which is reaching out to target audiences around the country to attract visitation to our area. I'll just jump right into the COVID-19. As you know, the travel industry has been the hardest hit industry when it comes to the economic effects of COVID. In Washoe County alone, again, because we receive our funding from the room tax collection, our hotel casinos, as they were shut down, they account for the majority of our room tax that we have, so we can market the destination. And we were down by 90% last month in April. Yeah, well, we're in June now, but for our collections that came in April, we were down significantly. And we've had to make some very difficult decisions with reducing budgets and unfortunately furloughing staff members. We're smaller right now and operating with a 50% reduced staff, but we're pretty mighty, and we're all working very, very hard to bring in the right messaging to get people to travel back to our destination. It's really important that we balance the health and the safety of our community and the needs of our community with our mission, which is to bring the visitors here. And similar to the Chamber and to EDON, success in our individual endeavors really will stimulate the economic revitalization of our entire region. We're keeping a very careful watch on travel sentiment research that every single week we get updates on travel sentiment research, and we're using that to help craft our messaging to bring people back and provide a compass. Where should we be spending our marketing dollars right now? And this research that we're seeing is that visitors are, or the public, we're broadening our perception of what is a viable drive market right now. And that has extended to a 700-mile trip in a car. So people are much more comfortable at this point doing drive trips. So we're messaging appropriately, keeping in mind the economic contribution of the airport, and we want to get as many people on those airplanes as we can, but our immediate focus is going to be pulling people out of neighboring areas, Southern California, Northern California, Utah, Idaho. So we're looking at that. One other thing that the staff is working on is taking our website, which is visitrenotahoe.com, and we're continuously updating it with information that we have been provided by the hotel casinos, by the destination, by Washoe County. That page is viewed quite a bit, and we monitor how what web pages are being viewed and what markets are looking at it. And the Northern California market, primarily the Bay Area, which is a huge population, that's the market that for the most part are looking on our website to say, oh, I really want to make a trip to Reno. What's it look like? When are the casinos open? And I'll just talk about a couple of really exciting wins we've had just in the last week. And then I will turn it over to some questions and answers. The wins we've had is a partnership that we're going to be involved with a company called Matador Network. And Matador is the largest global media agency, media outlet for travel related media buying. And they have millions and millions of followers. They're joining up in a partnership with Southwest Airlines, and Southwest, of course, has a huge database as well, and they're our primary carrier into Reno Tahoe. So Southwest and Matador are working with us and 5 other destinations they're putting together a post-COVID campaign to stimulate travel to destinations, only 6, that either have wonderful outdoor recreation available or beach settings. So we're pretty fortunate that we can offer our visitors both options. And it just places with built-in the social distancing built in, and this amazing access to nature. And so Matador, who's spearheading this, we've worked with Matador frequently in the past, and they have a tremendous amount of footage of our destination. They're doing this at no cost to us. And to get our name out and our destination with this global leader in travel information and Southwest Airlines is a huge win. And again, budgets are limited. So I don't think we could possibly afford something like this. So we're very grateful for their generosity in including us in their outreach. And then the other win we just had, one of the tough decisions we made with the budget cuts that we've had to do, we have a great agency in Milwaukee that helped us to rebrand Reno Tahoe. And we had to put our relationship with them on hold simply because of budget. And they stepped up to the plate for free. They created a commercial for us to welcome visitors back to our destination. And this commercial, we're going to hopefully be able to show it to you in a second. It's going to be played in right now the Northern California Drive Market, and it's a subtle welcoming people back without being too cliche, and it emphasizes our brand platform, which is one of ambition. So Connor, if you can cue up the video, I'd love to share it with everyone. It's 30 seconds.
We're not used to this. Sure, the pristine natural beauty, shimmering city lights still glimmer. And we miss you. But in the biggest little city in the world, our ambition never wavers. Yours shouldn't either. We'll eventually get back to a new one. You know, as normal as Reno Tahoe could possibly be.
Thank you, Connor. Sorry for the clunkiness. It just has to do with our technology, and that video was not able to be downloaded. But we're excited about sharing that. And this is the first time in well over a decade that we're out on TV with some commercials. So we're excited to get out there and promote that. And the last thing I want to mention, we had hoped to do with the casinos opening tomorrow. Ann Silver and the RSCBA talked, and we were talking with the City of Reno and City of Sparks about doing kind of a big PR splash under the arch to welcome the casinos opening and acknowledge businesses and our community reopening. But with the recent events with the riots, we took a step back and we decided, you know, we need to be sensitive to that, and we chose not to. But it's important for me to express to this group, before COVID, our organization, the RSCVA, we were working very hard on a campaign to embrace inclusivity and diversity. And I just think it's important to say, yes, our mission is to attract visitors and fill hotel rooms, but it's also our mission to embrace and acknowledge and invite visitors of all groups and individuals from different backgrounds, different religions, different ethnicities, different genders, orientation, as well as social and political philosophies. And that's something that we will continue to do with an effort to reach out to everybody. And I think Reno Tahoe is a wonderful, unique destination, and we're very friendly, and we want to welcome all different individuals. So that's kind of my quick brief on what the Reno Sparks Convention and Visitors Authority is up to.
Jennifer, that's great. Thank you for the video. That's exciting. It's going to be on local television, I imagine, as well as other stations?
Probably not locally, but we are going to do some cable purchases, and
Great.
our marketing team will be pushing that out on some social media platforms as well.
Terrific. Thank you for the introduction. I want to get to some of the questions we've gotten from our members, and I'm sure
My
you
pleasure.
can answer all of them. Just help us understand again, you are in essence a quasi-state or public agency. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Absolutely. There's a lot of confusion that our community thinks that we're funded by their tax dollars. Our funding comes when a visitor comes, stays in an Airbnb, stays in a trailer park, and pays rent for that less than 23-day stay, stays in a hotel room. There's a room tax collected, and also a surcharge. Now we have $2 to $3, depending on where you're located or staying in the city, surcharge that the visitor pays that comes back to the RSCBA. In turn, we do give money back to the City of Reno. We give money back to City of Sparks as well as Incline Village. But we use the money that's collected from the visitors through the taxation to market the destination and to fund our organization.
So that expression "butts in beds" is definitely a real one.
Yes.
We're all part of the effort as businesses in this community to attract visitors from wherever they may come. We want them staying here for as long as they want to be here, and that's what funds your organization.
Correct.
Okay, terrific, thank you. Right now, based on COVID-19, you've explained that you've expanded the driving area to 700 miles with people coming in from states as far away as Idaho, Wyoming, wherever it may be. But describe your target visitor for us. What type of person, age or otherwise, are you aiming for right now?
Right now, we're aiming for anybody who's willing to get in a car, on an airplane, or a train and come to Reno. Hotel casinos do an excellent job with database marketing, and many of their customers tend to be a loyal gaming customer. And that's why when we rebranded the destination a number of years ago, we looked at augmenting that group of visitors. So the visitor, and a lot of research went into this and focus groups. And we identified a target audience that really, that Reno Tahoe really resonates with, and they feel comfortable here and they love it. And to slap a title on that market, we're calling it an ambitious mindset. So it does cover a whole spectrum of demographic and age. We all have ambitious mindsets, I think. But to be a little more specific, as we're buying media, this group is typically 25 to 49-year-old individuals, and they're kind of, they're ambitious to be better than who they are, and they like exploring different things, and they like going to the breweries in our area. They love the Midtown feel. And this is something that they are very authentic people, and they want authentic experiences. And it's something that our destination does deliver on. We're not all the chain stores and that curated experience that you can get in many cities that are the same. Reno Tahoe still has that Wild West feel and that attitude of really friendliness and authenticity. So that's a target market in terms of a psychographic target.
Okay, thanks. Obviously, you're inextricably linked to the airport and airport travelers. How much has the 95% decline in air travel impacted what you've been doing, and may impact what you're able to do as people continue to have a reluctance to fly?
I know that part breaks my heart. And I am a partner in the Regional Air Service Corporation, as is the Chamber. And our mission is to support air service. So I want to remind this group that there is a whole team out there working closely with the airport to stimulate and bring back air service. It's devastating for all of us that we're not bringing in visitors to the same numbers that we were in the past. I'm hopeful and optimistic that we will get those planes filled again and get more visitors to the Reno Tahoe area. Pre-pandemic, we had targeted some cities that had wonderful air service into Reno Tahoe. Southern California, we worked with JetBlue out of JFK in New York and Seattle. We were looking to branch out and do more and more. We had great air service out of Phoenix and Denver, and mind you, there's a lot of connections going through those hubs. But we were able to really target some of our dollars geographically. We will most likely be pulling in a little bit more closer to home. I'm happy to say, though, on a regional effort, I meet once a week with the Convention Bureau from North Lake Tahoe, which is located in Tahoe City, Andy Chapman, who represents the other part of North Lake Tahoe from Incline Village, and Carol Chaplin, who represents South Lake Tahoe. And we're working together, and we hope to bring in this regional air service group to support our endeavors. We're going to be doing a cooperative effort, regional push in Southern California. And the reason for that, yes, they can hop in a car and drive, but our hope is they will hop on an airplane and drive. So all I can say with regards to air service, it's extremely important to our mission, to our community, and we're watching it, and we work with wonderful people at the airport probably once a day. I'm on the phone talking to them, seeing how we can support each other's efforts.
Great, thank you. Another question. We've read of cancellations of some of the major events our community is accustomed to having, the rodeo, Hot August Nights, etc. But looking past COVID, what events do you know or are you planning around that you can be assured will be taking place and will result in room nights for visitors?
Every single one that is not canceled, we're banking on them coming. Just off the top of my head, that would be street vibrations, balloon races. They can spread out a little bit. There's so many events, so I'm not able to rattle them all off. It breaks our heart when each and every one of them make that just gut-wrenching decision, as we heard yesterday with Hot August Nights. And I've been speaking with all the event producers to see what their plans are and how we can support. In terms of our RSCBA, we're out there marketing as much as we can and pushing the events. Many of them, I had a call with the rodeo yesterday, and they are planning to, I think they use the term reschedule in 2021, not postpone, not cancel. It's rescheduling it. And we'll be there for them. We'll do what we can. It's just a tough year for everybody. And I hope air races, that's another one. We have so many iconic events, and we'll be there to help them figure out spacing or whatever we can do. We need these businesses to succeed for us all.
Absolutely. Let me ask you about the bowlers. Are they returning?
Bowlers are great news. Yes, they are definitely returning. We, at the very beginning of COVID, I had probably a weekly conference call with the president of USBC, and we would look week and week, and their tournament lasts about 3 months, 2 to 3 months. And we kept moving it from, they were scheduled to start March 21st, I think, can't remember. So we looked at moving it to April and then May. And then I think it was early in May, they said, you know what, let's plan to push it to September, and it's just going to happen. And the feedback I got from USBC kind of early on when the country was panicking, the feedback I got is their members were contacting them continuously, not with the concern, are we going to have the convention and what about COVID? More a concern, I'm signed up, I'm not canceling, let's go to Reno. So I am so thrilled that we'll be welcoming them here in October. And my gosh, that will be a surge of economic activity for our whole community. And again, scheduled for 2 to 3 months, depending on how many people still plan to come.
That's terrific. Another member has asked about the casino reopening and whether RSCVA and the Chamber, in fact, have any thoughts about smoking in casinos, and if the RSCVA, for instance, has a position on trying to encourage the casinos to limit, if not eliminate, smoking, given health concerns that exist as long as there have been cigarettes, but certainly now in an era or at a time when we're dealing with tremendous health concerns with the COVID-19 situation. What are your thoughts about smoking in casinos? We won't quote you. There are just a whole lot of people who
I have no comment on that. We do not have a position on it. Our position is supporting, God bless the casinos. They have been dealing with so much, and that will be up to the casinos and Nevada Gaming Association. That's not in our area of influence right now.
Okay, another question. People know that the convention center was used to set up hundreds of beds, as it were, to perhaps receive COVID recovery patients. Do you plan any time to disassemble that setup?
Yes, the beds are already out. We did not ever need to use them. And I am so appreciative of efforts that Governor Sisolak has made and Washoe County. We never got in a situation where we had to use it. So our convention center is ready to reopen. We've gotten a lot of interest locally from organizations that have held events that are pretty condensed, and they're looking to us as a footprint where they can be a little bit more spread out in their events. So yeah, we're ready to rock and roll as soon as we can.
That's great. Another question. Would you be open to enabling some classes, particularly junior and senior level classes with Washoe County School District, to be held at the convention center?
You bet. And we've held a lot of graduations there in the past. And again, because it's such a huge footprint, I think we can do some social distance spacing. So more than happy to talk to anybody that wants to look into that.
Another question, what's the actual footprint size of the convention center? People drive by it all the time, and rarely do they realize just how much space is available.
It's over 500,000 square feet.
Wow.
It's huge. Mm-hmm.
That's incredible. Okay, and it can be broken down into smaller rooms, ballrooms, etc.
Correct.
Okay. In terms of your experience, I believe you've been with RSCVA for more than a decade, let's put it that way. What changes beyond COVID-19? What changes have you seen in the way RSCVA goes after individuals who may be interested in visiting this area?
What I've enjoyed so much, because I've been in this business for, more than a decade. I've loved seeing the evolution of technology and social media and digital marketing, and able to, I think the one thing that's on the forefront is the personalization of messaging that one can do to a potential visitor. And what we've been focused on that for 3 years now. And what we can do on our website is, depending on where the visitor comes from, if they're going to the website from California, they're served a map of the destination that includes drive up from California. If they're looking at us from New York City, it's a very different map. We're able to track people's behavior on our website. And if they're interested, if they go to special events as their first page visit, we can reserve them ads to promote special events. If they're interested in breweries, when they go on, the homepage maybe has a brewery image. So personalization, people are expecting it now. And I'm really happy that we're on the forefront of that. It just takes money. So we're going to be pausing a little bit. The other thing is the work with social influencers. And these are people that, I'm assuming everyone knows what they are, but they're people that travel. They have huge followings, 1 million people. They care where these individuals are. It's funny, these social influencers, many of them live in a van. They travel around the country and they make money in 6 to 7 figures because of who supports them. And we were definitely on the cutting edge of that. Just when this new group was burgeoning, we reached out and brought many of them here. And subsequently, and they came out for, we give them a hotel room and food. And now honestly, it's a multi-million-dollar business, but they have been loyal to us and grateful for us to help springboard them into their own professions. And they give us very, very attractive pricing. Many of them during this COVID pandemic, we reached out to many of them. They have assets, photography, video of our area, and wherever they were holed up, they would post stuff about Reno Tahoe, not charging us anything, just really out of the kindness of their heart. And they're all eager to get back here and help us get that messaging out. We're looking to bring them back, not sure when, hopefully the time will be right around mid-July. But they're anxious to get out here and help us sell our destination.
Terrific. Another question, pre-COVID, were Virginia City and Carson City highlights for people coming to the Reno area? Were you promoting or in some way encouraging people to also stop by Virginia City or even the capital?
Absolutely. And I'm a real strong proponent of supporting the entire destination. We're funded by Washoe County, and I understand that. And that's where we want the people to stay in our bed base. With that being said, our region is spectacular and there's so much to promote, and definitely Virginia City, Carson City, all parts of Lake Tahoe. It's about being a community, and I think you get a lot more by showing the entire destination and the breadth and depth of what we have to offer as a region. So yes, absolutely.
Good. Jennifer, we're going to pause and ask if people want to ask questions or they want to enter into the chat. I can read aloud their question and Jennifer can answer those. I have a few more questions though that were already received by our members. Do you have a daily opportunity to better understand the not just the impact of COVID-19, but how far out you think it may impact what RSCBA is attempting to do?
We don't have a daily resource for that because we collect the room tax. We get the following month on the 15th of the month, room tax collections are due into the RSCBA. So we are 15 days past a month to be able to look back and see on a monthly basis how the properties did. With that being said, I'm out in the community very much, as are all of our salespeople. And we have probably, considering all of the hotel casinos, close to daily conversations with them to say, how are you doing? What's going on? And it will ramp up now that they're opening. We'll be reaching out and finding out real time how they're doing, as opposed to us looking back to the prior month. And it's super important that we stay on that because we want to be ahead of it. And when the pandemic first hit, early March, before we had our room tax collections and we had any information, I think I'm going to digress, but I think that's why it's very important in an organization to have diversity of staff. We have younger individuals who can show us new contemporary ways of doing business. And then we have people like myself who've been on a hotel basis and understand how things change on a daily basis and how important it is to embrace and talk to people and understand what's going on, as opposed to sitting behind my desk and looking at numbers that are a month or 2 weeks in arrears. It's just really important to know that things are happening every day, and we got to be out in the community and talking to the businesses specifically. Nope, you're on mute, Ann.
Sorry, one last question from a member. Are you aware of flights in and out of Reno that may have been permanently discontinued as a result of COVID-19 and may actually limit the number of visitors or dissuade visitors who can't fly nonstop to and from Reno?
That's a great question. It changes daily, and the airport and I discussed that. I would defer to the airport to answer that simply because it does change all the time. And there is a difference between flights that have maybe stopped servicing Reno, but they intend to in a month. Oh, good. Hassan is who I work with very closely at the airport, and I just got a note that he'd be happy to answer that question. So
Sure.
please, Hassan.
Hassan, we'll unmute you. Please answer.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Jennifer. Can you all hear me?
We can. Thank you.
Sounds good. For the record, my name is Hassan Azim, Manager of Air Service Development, and I have a couple of folks from the Airport Authority on the call too. First of all, I'd like to say, Jennifer, thank you very much for what you're doing. You're on all the platforms that this community has to increase visitations and increase air service development. So thank you so much on behalf of the entire airport. Second thing, in terms of coming back to Anne, your question about if we are going to lose any flights permanently.
Mm-hmm.
So keep in mind, we are looking at schedules on a daily basis and then of course monthly and on and on. At this time, no airline has told us that they're pulling out permanently from any of the destinations. You are probably seeing a number of destinations reduced significantly from where we were pre-COVID. But at this time, just to reiterate, no airline has indicated that they're eliminating service or destination on a permanent basis. You guys might have seen an article come out yesterday or the day before about American Airlines pulling out of Oakland Airport permanently.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something we don't want to have at our airport. So what we're doing is working with Regional Air Service Corporation and other stakeholders and our airline partners to make sure that doesn't happen to Reno. So we're in constant communications with airline partners. We have, as I mentioned earlier, we have seen significant reduction in capacity, but there are already talks in play where we're working towards getting those destinations back, if not on full-time basis, at least on a limited basis. I hope this answers your question.
That's great. I'm glad to know my beloved flight to and from JFK on JetBlue. Don't let that one get canceled. That's important. But thank you, Hassan. Glad you're on the phone. Jennifer, we have another question about, in terms of the key part of the recovery, which is getting rooms and beds occupied. What are some of the more tactical activities you are doing to enhance that?
Well, regarding actually getting rooms and beds open and ready, that's up to our hotel partners. Our job is really to do the marketing of it and let people know that they're open. And we have a lot of social media announcements that we want to announce. We were planning, we have one going out tomorrow morning. I think the first casino has indicated they're opening at 8 a.m. and we plan to send something out in alignment with that. But other than, offer our support to the hotels, what we do is let people know we're open for business.
Okay.
And so most of the messaging will come out next week, only because of the unfortunate riots that we've had. We wanted to not be overshadowed by that news.
Okay. One last question that had been submitted previously. What do you think is the most effective way to attract people to this area? Is it advertisements in magazines? Is it radio or television commercials? Is it ad placement in other travel and leisure guides? From, based on your experience, what grabs people to this area who may not know the Reno Tahoe area? People from back east may associate with skiing, but not summertime, or those who come in the summer may not realize the plethora of ski resorts that we have. What's your response?
I think through the use of public relations, we we work very closely with a firm in New York, as a matter of fact, that specialize in tourism PR. And to get our name on like a thrill list, bear with me. I just got an email a few minutes ago, and I'll share it with you guys. Let's see. Okay, there we go.
Great. We're in real time. in
This
your
is real
office.
time.
Yeah.
I just got an email from our agency saying, hi all, excited to share that a result of our ongoing media relations, travel and leisure included Reno and Lake Tahoe, Nevada in their recent piece on the top 10 places to travel in July.
Oh,
This
fantastic.
article describes Reno Tahoe as a great combination of the city and nature life by highlighting Reno's public art, music scenes, and casinos, along with Lake Tahoe's long list of water sports activities. Also featured are links to book rooms at several hotels, such as the Jessie, Whitney Peak, Hyatt Lake Tahoe, and Edgewood Tahoe. So that is super effective for us, and it's effective not only because people feel that they'll read that, that's authentic, it's very cost effective. So that, along with these influencers that we've brought into the destination, are kind of our little silver bullet because of the trust that their followers have in them. So the public relations and getting the word out, and visually, the photography, I look at those pictures behind you, Ann, and our destination, Tom Clark's background, our destination is just so incredibly visually appealing. So we work on it with those few things.
Well, in order to end by 11:45, I have one last question.
Okay.
What can the Reno Sparks Chamber of Commerce, that represents over 2,000 businesses, what can we do individually, collectively, to enhance the attractiveness and the appeal of this area, the businesses that are in Midtown, Downtown, Sparks, Washoe County? What can we do to help RSCVA in accomplishing your mission?
I love that question. That's great. First off, do what you guys do best, which is being uber friendly with our guests and customers and inviting them back. I think Reno really has garnered that reputation for being a very friendly destination. So just engaging with your customers. I think it's very easy to get on that bandwagon of, oh, so what's RSCVA doing for me, or criticizing. We've had some publicity with our organization, and the people who are working here at the RSCVA, number one, because we're half staffed, everyone is working 2 jobs and working very, very hard. The people are honest, earnest, great community partners of us all. And if anyone has a question about the RSCVA or is wondering why we do something a certain way, I would love to hear from you, as opposed to you talking to your neighbor and criticizing us. We're not perfect and we don't have all the answers. And I'm all about people reaching out and giving me suggestions and giving our organization suggestions. But let's try to hold each other up as opposed to criticizing each other.
I think that's a great response. Just a quick heads up, Beth McMillan has indicated that Art Town is not canceled. It's just being reinvented in a new format. It will be held July 1st through 31st. It's going to be a little different this year, but Beth, we know you're working on an innovative way to ensure that the arts and culture are maintained throughout this summer. Art Town is such an incredible event and is such has such a strong identity for the Reno Sparks area. We're thrilled to see that you're taking care of that. And Keith Thomas, in terms of Tahoe.com, let's make sure we get to you and make sure that people advertise in your publication and do what they can do. As Jennifer's indicated, we're all in this together. I think that was highlighted on Sunday when so many volunteers helped, just showed up without anyone asking them to do so, but showed up to show the real tone and tenor and community spirit of Reno and Sparks, and worked so hard to overcome the mayhem of Saturday evening. So Jennifer, any closing remarks you want to make to our listeners?
Well, first off, thanks for letting me speak to you all. And I'd like you to reach out to me if you have any questions or suggestions or ideas. And I just want to reiterate that, yeah, we're part of this community, and we take our mission and the responsibilities, we take it very seriously, and we want to do a good job for this community. So
Jennifer, give us your
mindset.
your email, if you would.
Yeah, easy. J Cunningham at Reno Tahoe USA.com.
Terrific. I hope people reach out to you. I know how
please.
responsive you are. And I want to thank you for being part of our Path Forward series, for taking time to explain what people here is called RSCVA and don't always know what that stands for, but does so much to bring visitors to this area that then shop and dine and take advantage of all of our members. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your time this morning, and thanks everybody who participated. Take care now. Be safe.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.